am joined by Jamie. Hey, what's up, Jamie?
Hey there, Frank. How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
All right. Jamie is my co-commentator for tonight, and he will be streaming this race as well on the online racing network.
That is correct. Wow, these conditions are not very nice, are they?
No, it's extremely wet out there. Wow. This is the first race we are doing at this season. I think it's the first actual race on Project Cars 2 in the TNGTC with this much rain.
Wow.
So yeah, there's not a lot of grip from what I've heard from the drivers. So it's going to be very tricky, and of course they will have to be very careful around certain corners with standing water.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to see sort of the visibility that the people have behind. Like, for example, we're watching Boy Raxa right now, but I'd hate to imagine what the guy behind him can see with all that water spraying onto his windshield.
Oh, let's see how. Well, this is the view of Adam, who is currently behind Boy Raxa. Boy Raxa, also known as Benji. And well, as you can see, you have to know the track very well. Here's a very big puddle of standing water. Very tricky here. As you can see, well, like I said, you need to know the track very well, because if there's a car in front, you won't see anything.
I mean, the biggest thing that I think is going to be an issue is obviously on, you know, the start of the race. That's when people like to try and jump ahead, try and quickly grab some spots. But if they're not careful, there's going to be some really big trouble on these race starts. There's going to be literally no visibility if you're not starting up front.
Yeah, exactly, and especially that first corner going down and a very tight hairpin after a very long straight. They won't be able to really brake. Oh, and you can see Adam going a bit wide there, sliding through, just aquaplaning there.
Yeah, just kiss the grass.
It's very, very tricky now. Also, the curves and the grass are even worse now. And there is a small change in the track. We are not using the official track tonight. You will see when they come up to the chicanes. We are not using the Formula One chicanes. As you can see here, we're using the GT3 chicanes, which are officially not part of this track in the game, at least.
Yeah, I don't think that the Formula 1 GP circuit chicanes would have been necessary. I think it's going to be hard enough for these guys without having to do that, go through that section.
Especially in the rain.
Exactly, yeah. It would have been just far too much. I mean, I struggle to go through there at 30 miles an hour, let alone the speeds that these guys are going.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's see how everyone is doing. First times are on the board. And so far, fastest on track is Gazza123. Gaz in the black BMW M6, and he has done a 2:04.5.
And we can see immediately why he's at the top of the board there. He was pushing the car to its very limits going through that section. He's not wasting any inch of racetrack. He's making sure that the car uses the entire track.
Yeah, yeah. Gaz is one of the fastest drivers in the league, and even in the rain, he is still very fast. We have a couple of drivers of which I'm expecting to see a lot, like the driver we saw at the beginning. Let's go into Boy Raxer. Benji loves the ring. I don't know if it's still the same year in Project Cars, but in Project Cars 1, he used to love the ring, and he was very good in it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he will do. Well, he is currently in 3rd position.
Well, for the way I see him driving, if you look at the front wheels, for example, when we were watching Gaz come through that corner there was a lot of, he was correcting the car a lot. You could see him turn it to the left, obviously quite a lot through that right-hander, whereas it looks like Boy Rax has got the car under control. He doesn't really need to do much correct. I mean, he just did a little bit there, but that corner is horrible, and I imagine everyone will have to do some sort of correction through that one.
Yeah, I guess so. And there's also, of course, a pretty big difference between the Audi and the BMW.
Indeed.
With the Audi being... Sorry?
Indeed.
Of course, with the BMW, it's a massive car. It's a very heavy car. It has the engine in the front, and the Audi, you can see Benji almost drifting through that corner. And that's of course with the Audi with the engine in the back, which makes it really snaps out easily, especially on a wet track like this.
Who are your top 3 qualifying predictions here?
Well, I think from what I've heard, Gaz is the man to beat. So I think he will start from pole.
Yeah.
As we can see, Benji is now in 2nd place. Boy Raxer, I don't know yet. It might be either Liam Perso in the white BMW M6. He is Gaz's teammate, and they're both very quick in that BMW. But then again, if we go to Adam, who is now currently in the pits, he is definitely a contender for the top 3.
It'll be fun to watch.
So let's go through the rest of the field. Let's go to Jamie F430, driving the 93 Lamborghini. And so far he's doing very well. He started a bit more at the back of at the beginning of the season, but he turned out he's proven to be very fast. Had some bad luck, so did not. I don't think he finished every single race this season. But yeah, with the 5th place in the rain at the Nürburgring.
It'll be a good points day for that team.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else is out there. Here we are with Nike 4001, also known as Jeremy, in the Ferrari, and I think he's going to be in a pretty nasty spot in that Ferrari.
Yeah, it doesn't always look as though the handling on that thing's that good. Obviously, I haven't seen this driver before, so I can't, commentate on the skill of the driver. But that car doesn't look very happy right now.
Nope. It's already that Ferrari is very loose at the rear, so I can imagine it's going to be quite a struggle through the rain. You need a real good setup to get it through the rain and get a good time out there.
Well, we wish him the best of luck. I wouldn't want to be in his seat.
No, definitely not. Okay, so Who else do we have? We have NGR, Edu, also in the Ferrari.
I know we do.
You can see that the handling of his car is pretty much the same as Jeremy's car.
Yeah, they're very, very unhappy looking race cars right now. Oh,
and
got someone off.
Yep, that was... that was the Farmer 12, and this is one of the new drivers. And if I'm correct, he is a new driver from France. And I don't know, I don't have a lot of information about him, so we'll just have to see how he does during the race. Currently 11th. The only man behind him is in the pits, which is Ben Milden, Man 27. He has a qualifying ban for the rest of the season, so he will pits for the rest of the qualifying session. Let's see. Here we have Papano 92, one of the new guys. This is his second race. So yeah, let's see how he does here in the wet.
How did he do in the first race? His first race?
I think he... I have to look back. I don't know. I think he didn't finish. I can't remember. But he had pace. He just retired.
Well, we hope he makes it to the end of this one.
I hope so. Yeah. And I think we will see some spins and crashes. So I hope everyone will make it to the end. Here we are with Seeks 44, also in a Ferrari. But I don't think, and he just made it to 7th place. Yeah.
Well, from like looking at it, his car seems to be a lot happier right now. Compared to the other Ferraris that we've seen so far, this one seems very stable. I don't think it's necessarily got the speed but that we've been seeing out of the others, but I think obviously Seeks has found a good balance for speed and stability right now.
Yeah, sure looks like it. You can see that the rear end looks a lot more stable. And so he is the fastest in the Ferrari so far. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we can see a lot of Ferraris from 7th place down. Because 7th place is Ferrari, in 8th it's Knight in a Ferrari, and we have Papano in the BMW, and Edu also in a Ferrari, and the new guy, the Farmer, also in a Ferrari.
Yeah, so not looking good for the Ferrari so far today, but as we said before, just before the show, we did say we thought that it would be more of a survival race than who can go the fastest.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's last week we had the endurance race.
Mm-hmm.
We had the endurance race. That was a survival race, but this in the wet is even more so. So let's see. Meanwhile, back at the top, we still have Gaz, and he did improve his time, and is now on pole with a 2:04.0.
Nearly getting into those 2:03 brackets, but I don't really think he's got much to worry about right now. I mean, we see him going back out there. I don't really think he's got to. He can just kind of relax for these 4 minutes, sort of collect his thoughts and get ready to go racing.
Yeah, if you can see, there's usually the top 5 to 7 is really close, like within a second of each other. and now Gas has a lead of over second to Benji, who's in second place with a 5.2. And from there, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how much, obviously, the rain factors in. I mean, obviously, it's very different when the conditions are dry, but I think you know what the conditions are going to be like when it's dry. I mean, I don't think no matter how many times you race in the wet, something is going to be different every time.
Yeah.
If you understand what I mean, like, if you race in the rain, like, every time you go through a corner, it's going to be different. You can't necessarily predict exactly how it's going to feel, so...
Well, it's good to see that from second till fifth, there's only just a second between those 5 drivers. So that's very close. And even behind that, it's not that far off. So I think that the whole field is going to be... Whoa! And Liam spins on the back straight, and then you can see how slippery it is.
Yeah, the rear end just snapped there.
Yeah. That's a very tricky part there. Also coming down from the hill. And the last piece.
The car goes very light in that corner, the best of times. But, whoa.
Whoa.
Saved it.
That was Jamie. Nice save.
Lamborghini is not going to go to the garage, luckily.
And here we can see how tricky this first corner is. It's very hard to pick a right line. There is no right line at that first corner, because you come down, your car starts to get very light. You have no grip. Try to brake. There's a puddle right at the bottom of that hairpin, so you don't want to go too wide. You don't want to go right on the apex, because yeah, those puddles are death traps.
I wouldn't even want to drive to like the supermarket in this weather, never mind. Race a Lamborghini around the Nürburgring.
We asked some guys what they thought of doing a wet race, and yeah, some of them really enjoy the extra, well, how do you call it?
Excitement, challenge, yeah.
Challenge. I think challenge is a better word. Yeah.
Well, I think it just makes obviously a difference, because if so far the guys have mainly been racing in the the daytime. For example, you were saying that the driver, sorry, I've forgotten his name, the driver currently in second. You were saying that he, Boyraxa, sorry, yeah. You're saying he likes the rain, so maybe he hasn't had the opportunity that he might have wanted to, shine in this series. But now that we've got a rain race, he might have an opportunity to prove himself.
Yeah, I sure hope so. He definitely likes to drive in the rain, so he just likes that challenge. I hope he can turn that into a podium, maybe even into a victory.
Who knows? I reckon I wouldn't be super surprised to see the guy in 8th place win this. We don't know what's going to happen here.
That could be a possibility for sure. Yeah. I mean, if two guys just crash into each other, it could be all over for them. And like you say, some guy in the back just takes the win.
Slow and steady wins the race, and it will do today, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure.
But not too slow, because we want an exciting broadcast. So Get those pedals pressed, boys.
Yes, and qualifying is officially over. Cars. Oh,
There was somebody in the grass.
Yes. Who that
What's the
was?
sign? Oh no, hit the
Yep,
sign.
that was Six. Parked his Ferrari on the grass there. So as I was saying, the clock has stopped. All the drivers that were on the lap are allowed to finish it. So here we have Benji just crossed the finish line and wasn't good. He did improve his time, just got it under a 2:05, but that was not enough to get pole. And we have Adam still on track. He's going for another track, but it's for another lap. No, he's done. He only has 30 seconds left, so he wouldn't make it.
That'd be a very impressive lap time if you made it.
Especially in these conditions.
Oh yeah.
So it's Gazler 123 on pole, with Boy Rexer in second. Gaz's teammate Liam Thurso is in third. Jamie in fourth place, very impressive in the Lamborghini. And then we have Adam, who just didn't get a good lap out and starts fifth. Then we have Paul Scott in the other Lamborghini. We didn't see him during the qualifying session, but another Lambo in the top six, so that's good. And then we have Knight in the Ferrari, 6th and 8th in the Ferrari, Otano in the BMW, Edu in 10th in a Ferrari, the Farmer also in a Ferrari, and then Ben Milden in the Demon Tweaks Lamborghini in last place. So we're about to start the 40-minute feature race, 19 laps around a soaking wet Nürburgring. And now we have about 2 minutes for the drivers to set their fuel and pit strategies. And then we're off, so it's just wait for a couple of minutes now.
What do you reckon will be the optimum times to come in to the pits, Frank?
It's pretty hard. I haven't seen the degradation of the wet tires. I actually don't know the track temperature, so I guess that we will see the first regular pit stops at around lap 10 or 11. And we might see, my prediction is that we will see Liam entering the pits first.
Mm-hmm.
He has proven to be the undercut king this season.
The short pitter,
so I think,
very nice.
And I think he will try again tonight, because so far, every time he tried an undercut, it worked, or at least he definitely gained some time.
That'll be good to keep an eye out.
So we'll have to keep an eye on the pits from around lap 8 or 9. And of course, I think we will see some guys in the pits after lap 1. And we are about to start.
Number green.
Green. Oh, that's a good start by Benji. He's on the inside.
I'm not liking this 4 wide down into 1.
It's gonna be tricky.
Looks like Gaz managed to get around the outside of Benji.
There with one of the Lamborghinis. And looks like Gaz was in a better spot on the outside of turn 1. And there comes Jamie on the inside for turn 3.
Edu's in the pits.
Oh, that's very soon already.
Oh no,
and
Jamie's off.
Yeah, losing a lot of places there. Now he's all the way at the back after such a good start.
Doesn't look like he got any damage though, so...
Yeah, it was just a spin. And we saw Liam battling out with Paul Scott in the yellow Lamborghini. He was on the inside here. Paul Scott hits the gravel and he is back in front now.
Yeah, good power move there.
Oh, and we see, I think that's, yes, spin by the farmer.
Not the start he was looking for, I'm sure.
Nope, but it's not lost yet. With this weather, anything can happen. Oh, it looks like Benji caught up to Daz.
Yeah, he's right there, isn't he?
Yep.
He's going to be looking, I reckon, into turn 1. Look at the acceleration he gets off that corner.
That was a great exit. There he goes, try to get a toe off of Gaz, and now he is trying the outside. And you can see there that the BMW has is so heavy, so especially in the rain, it's harder to get it into that first corner. Has to go earlier on the brake than the Audis.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling, Gaz, a little bit with forward bite right now. His exit from the hairpin looked a bit like he just couldn't get going.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem of that BMW. It has definitely a problem with stopping and accelerating. Once it gets going, it's a fast car. But I imagine that in the rain, it makes it pretty hard to get it off the line. You saw it at the start, to see it at his exits. Benji's exits are better. It's just that once that BMW is on speed, it's just, it goes.
Yeah.
So they both have their own advantages around this track. The Audi is definitely better around the corners.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, like, so far we can definitely tell that Benji right now is capable of catching Gaz, but I don't see him, unless Gaz makes definitely a big mistake, that Benji's actually going to be able to pass him.
Yeah, and it's all down to the tire wear then. But if he can stay close, maybe he can push Gaz into a mistake. There are a lot of tricky corners on this track.
Especially in the monsoon.
Taking a different line.
He's just searching for grip. I imagine all of these drivers will be trying different lines, seeing where the grip on the racetrack is, where the heat is. Trying to get, you know, that little edge over the driver in front of them.
Yeah, and so far it looks like that different line is definitely working for Benji.
I don't know if Gaz will be able to slow down enough in the hairpin without losing the position to try that line.
I don't think so. I think if he did the same, he is definitely on a defensive line here, and he needs to be because Benji is right at the back of that spoiler of his. Here we are on board with Benji. Like I said during the qualifying session, you really have to know this track, especially when you're this close to another car. You just don't see anything. You just have to trust in your instincts.
Let's go back in the field a little bit and see what the visibility is like for them, because some of those guys have like 3 cars ahead of them, bunched up. Oh, they seem to be more in pairs now.
Here we have Ben Milton started last, and he is already in 5th place. And he really cut through that field. And meanwhile, we have lost 2 drivers. We already saw Edu get back to the pits just after the first corner. And also the farmer has left the session. So we are now down to 10 drivers. So, which means all drivers that finish the race will get into the points.
That's a good thing for the guys still in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing to lose now.
Benji's still so close. So, well, here it shows that he really enjoys this wet weather racing.
Yeah, you can tell he's sort of toying with Gaz right now. But I mean,
he is looking.
But Gaz is, you can tell he's obviously quite calm and collected in that. I mean, I think he locked the brakes up a little bit there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I would say that so far Gaz has shown that he's calm in there. He's not worried about Benji right now.
Yeah, you rarely see Gaz make a mistake. So he's a very good driver, even under pressure. And he's the quadruple TNGTC champion.
Wow.
And yeah.
Very impressive.
Also 4 in a row.
Wow.
After 4 championships. So, what else is happening on track? Here we are with RDF1 Adam Morris. He is Boy Ractor's teammate, and he is now chasing Liam Thurso for a battle for 3rd. And Liam in the white BMW is Gaz's teammate. So it's now the Stanford Racing drivers in the BMW against the Snakes Unite Racing team in the Audis.
It's a big team battle up here at the front. Very exciting.
Yes, and it has been for the past couple of races, but as you can see in the back, Ben Milton is closing in pretty fast.
He might come and split up the party.
He will join that battle for 3rd in about 2 laps if he continues like this. That's a good thing to see. Here we are with Jamie and the other Lamborghini.
Yeah, he spun very early, but it looks like he's been able to work his way back up this field a little bit.
Yeah, back to 7th after he dropped down the field after that spin in turn 4. And let's see how they are doing at the front.
It looks like Benji's trying to save his stuff here. You know, he's been maybe pushing himself a little bit too much, wearing the tyres out too much. So it looks like he's just sort of giving Gaz a bit of breathing room. Just keep up with him, but not push himself too hard.
Yeah, as we can see from the lap times, it's still pretty similar. I think indeed he just took a bit more distance. I saved the tires a bit. And I know that when Benji started racing in this league, he burned his tires like crazy. It was like after 5 laps he was going through all his tires.
Yeah, back when I used to race a lot, I was exactly the same. Did not care for the tyres at all, and that was probably one of my biggest downfalls. Really, did not take care of the car, and that's how you win.
Yeah, Benji had a similar problem, but he learned how to manage the tires, manage the car, and doing so he even got faster, so he's now really up there.
I mean, it's as simple as saying, you know, the car is everything. If you don't look after it, then you've got no chance of succeeding. So, you know, you can drive really fast for a couple of laps and, you know, break it, but what are you going to do for the rest of the race?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it looks like Benji actually locked up a little bit there, but he's... Unless that was just a Project Cars glitch where the tyres stopped.
Could be. And, well, there you have it. Ben is now getting closer and closer. So Adam will have to watch his back.
And it's going to be a 3-man party soon.
Yeah, and I know that after getting a podium last week, Ben sure wants another one tonight.
Well, if you look at the lap times, I mean, Ben ran a 4/10 quicker lap than these two last time.
Yeah. And he is really closing in. We've seen from Jamie that the Lambo is very fast at this track.
Speaking of Jamie, he's made a pass for the 6th spot right now.
Yeah,
but looking at the gap that he's made, I wouldn't be surprised if the driver in 7th maybe made a mistake, maybe went off a little bit.
It is Pano, yeah, that could be.
Just looking at the time difference compared to when we last saw him.
And once again, we see that Ben is over half a second quicker than Adam. And he is now almost within half a second, while Adam is very close to Liam. This is going to be a pretty tight battle for 3rd.
It's getting a bit congested up here. It looks like they both overdrove that.
And now 2 drivers are under pressure because Liam is under pressure from Adam, and Adam needs to make a move before Ben
gets him,
finds a connection to these 2. Looks like he made a slight mistake, or Liam managed to get away a bit.
Nothing jumped out to me as a mistake, so I'm not sure.
No, maybe it's just that the BMW is a bit faster in that 2nd sector. We are getting...
Ooh, very close.
That is that braking advantage that the Audi has over the BMW.
Yeah, if that was the way around, I imagine we would have seen a connection of the two cars there.
Yeah. So guys need to defend that spot, and I know that Benji will. If he sees a gap, he will go for it.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about how Gaz is leading this race. He wants to control it. Otherwise, he would have just let Benji go by now. But he's doing such a good job of racing where Benji wants to race. And obviously he can't drive through him, so
yeah,
it's keeping him behind.
Very, very good at defensive driving. Back here to the battle for third. Adam is right on the tail of Liam, and it looks like Ben isn't able so far to get any closer to these two.
His last couple of laps have been about a 1/10 to 3/10 slower than these two.
Yeah. And it's just, well, we might be seeing the first pit stops very soon.
Who was the driver that you mentioned? Was it Liam? That likes
Liam
to go early. Yeah.
So,
well, tyre fall off is clearly showing on the times. And there he is. Good call. And Ben's going to come with him.
Yeah, and Adam is going for another lap.
Whoa, it looked like Benji got extremely loose going into that first corner.
And now we will see Adam can push this lap. I think he will come into the pits this lap or the next. We will see if Liam's undercut will work this time.
No other takers though to the pits. It's just going to be Ben and Liam this lap.
So Liam's out, Ben is out. Get back to the
I heard him.
race. They're going through the Schumacher S's.
Who do you think will cave first coming into the pits out of these two?
I think that Gaz will come in probably around lap 10 or 11, and that Benji will follow him. I don't think he's gonna take his chances. I would advise to keep on going if I was Benji.
Like, see, I'm going to go with the opposite.
There you go.
Oh,
that
was good. I was going to just say that I would have thought that the best move, because Benji can't get around Gaz right now, but if he managed to undercut him just enough to get in front, I think that would have, been the best strategy for Benji.
And back comes
Here comes Adam.
So this is going to be exciting. Let's see if Liam's undercut will work again, and if it also works in the wet.
So the top 5 all in the pits right now.
Benji in the pits, and he's out already.
Maybe a bit of strategy there.
He was right at the beginning of the pit straight. And
there goes Gaz.
He's out as well. So there's no difference between those two. Now let's see, where's Liam? And it works again. Here's Liam. Oh, that's the wrong one. And there's Adam.
And then here comes
And
Ben.
there's Ben. He's on the outside.
Oh no!
And he spins coming out.
So,
Okay, so
not only did Adam get undercutted, but then that unfortunate spin there, that's not good luck at all.
no, not at all. Well, it is Liam still in third. His undercut worked once again. And now Ben is in virtual fourth. So far here we have Paul now in second place. He was leading the race, but he has still
Yet to be in the pits.
yes. And oh, and his tires are gone.
Yeah, very evident.
It's struggling already. Oh, watch it.
Oh, it's gonna hold Liam up a little bit. It's gonna cost him some time.
Yes, and how far is Ben? Ben is still 6 seconds away, so
And Scott will be the last to make a stop on lap 10.
And not only did Adam spin, he retired.
He may have flat spotted them.
Oh, that's a shame. Now down to 9 drivers. With Gaza 123 still leading the race. And he has now a gap of about almost 3 seconds to Benji. And with about 8 laps to go, will he be able to get close again to Gaz? And will he be able to overtake him this time?
I'm really not sure, to be honest, Frank. I feel like just that little bit of time that got lost there. I feel like when he was on Gaz's heels, he knew exactly where to push and where not to push. But now that he hasn't sort of got Gaz right in front of him, I think he's not going to be able to work that out so easily.
Well, we'll just have to see in the next time they cross the finish line to see the lap times. Lost a lot of time last lap. And Adam did not retire. I just got a screenshot. He disconnected from the server. So that was extreme bad luck after his pit stop.
He got undercut, he spun out, and then he was disconnected. That is just triple bad luck there in a very short space of time. I'd be very annoyed if I was in his position right now.
Oh, for real.
So, apologies to Adam there.
Yeah, and he was doing so well, almost catching Liam.
Yeah, him and Liam are having a brilliant battle there for the third spot.
Yes,
I reckon if Liam didn't do that undercut, then it would have been a different story.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and there's still quite a gap between the drivers in second, third, and fourth position.
But I mean, if you just look at the front two, they are putting on a very impressive display. They're stomping the rest of the field at the moment.
You see those lap times. I mean, Gaz is almost equaling his qualifying lap times in the
Actually,
ring.
look at Jamie's lap time. That's only a tenth off what Benji's running right now.
Yeah, he is still so fast. It's such a shame he spun in the first lap.
That's what I love about you know, watching racing is all of these what could have been, and if things went slightly different, like how different the outcomes could have been. And I think that Jamie really does still actually have the time to get certainly into fourth, but maybe if Liam slows down.
With about 5 laps to go, and Jamie is now 3.5 seconds away from Ben. But their lap times are pretty similar, so I don't think we'll be able to get any closer before the finish line. But then again, one tiny mistake by one of the drivers and could be completely different.
Gaz's lead is growing.
Yes.
Quite rapidly, actually. I don't know if something's wrong with Benji's car. But, oh no, it's coming back now, but yeah, I think something must have happened to Benji. Look how quickly that the time difference is changing.
Yeah, it could be a tire pressure problem. Not the first time that I saw cars coming out of the pits with completely different tire temperatures and pressures, and especially in this weather, if the pressure is too high, you just lose all grip.
Well, it looks like either Benji made a gamble and it didn't work out, or Gaz made a gamble and it did work out. Just one of those things.
But like you said, his lead is growing rapidly. Almost at 4 seconds now.
Oh no, Benji's in the grass coming down. I was just about to comment on Benji's exit out of the final corner has been superb this entire race, but feels stupid now saying that after he slightly overshot it a little bit, but up until this point it's been good, which it does suggest to me there is a bit of a handling issue right now for that 28 Audi.
Yeah, it does look like it. Yeah, especially around the corners. It doesn't seem to have any grip.
Yeah, it seems like he's having to double guess himself when he's accelerating at the moment, which is definitely a worrying sign. But the good news is he's got an 11-second cushion back to third place, so all he needs to do right now is hang on and take the second spot on the podium.
Exactly, he just has to hold on for 5 more seconds, and actually his lead on Liam is growing. So I don't think he needs to worry that much. And you can see that the gaps are growing between all drivers. The gap between Liam and Ben is now over 5 seconds. Meanwhile, Jamie is still getting closer. He's now within 3 seconds of Ben, but with only just over 4 laps to go, I don't think it's enough to catch him.
No, I don't believe so. I think Ben's going to have to definitely make a reasonable sized mistake.
Yeah, you don't see Ben do that very often. He is very good in the rain. He doesn't really like it, from what I know, but he is doing very well. I know a couple of seasons ago we did a race at Zhuhai, and it was a huge thunderstorm, and Ben was driving the Porsche back then, and he was doing so well.
Well, I mean, looking at the lap times today in today's feature race, you know, it looks more or less that Ben has been the most consistent on the track. I would say even more than our race leader. Obviously, our race leaders put down some very fast laps, but then obviously a few slow ones. But I think right now, from what I've seen so far, Ben is the most consistent right now.
And here we see that the gap is now about 2.5 seconds. So that's just Jamie closes the gap, but not enough. It's just a couple of tenths per lap. And you see that his times are dropping as well.
Well, I think Jamie has been pushing that Lamborghini. Maybe it's starting to get a little tired right now.
Yeah, it probably, and well, we shouldn't forget that he came from the back after that spin.
Oh, not at all. He's done a very good job in the feature race, and I imagine he's going to put what he's learnt in the feature race here definitely to use in the sprint race. And hopefully, if he avoids just an unfortunate accident, he could do very well.
Yeah, and the only disadvantage he has right now is that if he finishes 5th, he is not allowed to qualify in the sprint race. So he will start, well, somewhere from the back. But, well, he is one of the more consistent and fast drivers on the grid right now. So I think he will be able to battle his way through slower drivers in the sprint race. So let's see how our back markers are doing. Here we are with Paul. Very lonely race at the end. There's a 30-second gap to Knight 4001. But he's in the points, so he just needs to finish this race.
Yeah, 3 points.
And here we have Knight. He is one of the few Ferraris left on the track. Currently
Yeah.
8th place.
I mean, going from what we said in... oh, sorry, you do.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, out of the Ferraris, obviously, we did say at the beginning of the show that, you know, they were going to struggle, and they have, as you said. I think we have two Ferraris left, or just
Yes.
Knight? Two Ferraris.
It's Knight, and we
That's right, yeah, we got
Six,
Six, yeah.
Blue and white Ferrari. And yeah, that's only 2 of 4 Ferraris in total that started.
Very clear that the Ferraris do not favour the wet conditions.
No, it's a snappy back of the Ferrari that makes this track extra hard in the wet. So it's not bad to see Six in a the 6th place here. And well, this was a slightly slower lap, but his times were pretty close to those of Ben and Jamie.
Oh no, Six. He hangs on.
Oof.
I thought that car was gone there.
Yep.
Incredible handwork, obviously, by Six there to keep that thing going forward.
Especially on that part of the track.
And the best part was, I don't think he lost any time, because he managed to recover it and then go into it, turning into the hairpin there. So
we'll see in about half a lap, or just over half. And
looks like he may be
actually
battling Jamie for the 5th spot.
Yes, and so Jamie, I don't see any mistakes from Jamie, but
I think when we saw him going quick, I think he was using up his stuff, and I think he hasn't got a lot left to give.
Because he's losing a lot of time now. He has there's a gap of almost 10 seconds to Ben, and that was only 2 seconds a couple of laps ago. So we might see a battle for the 5th place.
At the moment, unless he can defend it, yeah, it definitely looks like Jamie's going to have to say goodbye to a top 5 finish.
It sure looks that way. It looks like Lambo is a sitting duck for the Ferrari because Seeks is coming in fast.
But literally a lap ago at this point, we saw Seeks make a mistake.
There, Jamie 2:16, so he spun.
Yeah.
Seeks also lost a bit of time there. His previous lap was a 2:08. And lost a bit of time, but he's very close now to Jamie, so maybe he can pressure in and to make another mistake with only 2 laps left.
A little bit wide.
Very wide there.
Hit the grass. It looks like both of these guys right now are trying to drive as consistently as possible and save their stuff. No, conservatively, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it sure looks like Jamie's tires are pretty gone. You can see him struggle through the corners. Although the gap with Seeks is getting bigger now. So he will have to be very careful not to make a mistake again. If he spins out again, it means he will score less points, probably end up 6th.
But it looked like they both had a mistake. Obviously Jamie lost a lot more than Seeks did, but they both had a mistake on that same lap, which means that, you know, there is, obviously, if it happens, there's another chance that it could happen again. And so we'll have to keep an eye on these two. So I'm sure Seeks would love to get a top 5, as well as Jamie would like to keep it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And meanwhile, we are with Gaz still leading the race from lap 1. And he is almost halfway through his final lap around the NÜRBURGRING for the feature race. He has a solid lead of over 4 seconds on Boy Rackler. and I don't see Gaz make a mistake now. I mean, he has all the time in the world to finish this lap. Same goes for Benji. He has a 12-second lead over Lee. No pressure whatsoever. And
Oh, no.
Ben just disconnected. So that means Jamie moves up to 4th and Seeks move up to 5th. Here we are with Gas for the final turn. And that is a victory again for Gas. Well done. All about Benji flashing his lights.
Heck of a run for him.
Second place.
Very impressive driving from the both of those guys. And great strategy, of course, from Liam here. Well deserved third place.
The undercut king does it again.
And that is your podium.
There we have it, Jamie in 4th.
What a drive.
And
from the
like
front
said,
to the back to the front.
And Seeks in 5th. He will be very pleased with that result. On the back we can see, oh, that's a close finish. Pano finishes just ahead of Knife. And then we have Paul Scott. He still has quite a way to go. He finishes 8th, so still scores some points even though he's last.
That's what a shame for all of those drivers that had disconnection issues. I mean, Ben was looking at the top 5 there, which of course has gone now. I mean, I don't understand in terms of the points. Will that mean that Ben classes as finishing 9th, or does that count?
I actually don't know because the rules have changed a bit. There was a rule that you had to finish in order to get some points. But we'll have to just wait and see. But for now, this is these are the 8 drivers that did finish. So Gaz first, Benji, also known as Boy Raxer, 14 in 2nd, and Liam in 3rd place. And of course we will see Adam and Ben back for the sprint race. They do have a small advantage, and that is that they are allowed, or at least Adam is allowed to qualify, because the top 5 is not allowed to qualify for the sprint race.
Can Ben not qualify for the sprint race either?
No, Ben has a qualifying ban for the rest of the season.
May I ask how this occurred?
Yeah, he made a car change mid-season, and that was not allowed.
Okay, I see.
That was because of the new patch that made the GTR pretty undrivable. So drivers were allowed to change cars, but as a penalty, they weren't allowed to qualify for the rest of the season.
Okay, I see. That's fair enough.
All right, so that concludes the feature race, round 9 of the Thursday Night GT Championship by Race Department on Project Cars 2 for PS4. The live stream on the TNGTC channel will stop, and we will be back for another one in the sprint race in a couple of minutes, and the stream on the online racing network channel. Well, Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in for round 9. Very looking forward to round 10. Saw some excellent stuff. Hope you all enjoyed, both on your channel and mine. And yeah, we'll see you for round 10.
All right. see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.